Good afternoon. My name is Rhonda Daviston, and on behalf of my co-chair, Wesley Alexander, and the Multi-Agency Black History Planning Committee, I welcome you to our annual Black History Program. The theme for 2022 is Black Health and Wellness. This theme is timely and appropriate due to our current health climate. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on millions of Americans and people around the world. Unfortunately, it has also taken a huge toll on African Americans. The theme, Black Health and Wellness, focuses on the importance of being well and acknowledges the legacy of Black scholars and medical practitioners in Western medicine. This theme also recognizes that Black health and wellness includes practices known throughout the African diaspora, such as birth workers, doulas, midwives, naturopaths, and herbalists. The theme encourages us to remember and consider activities, rituals, and initiatives that Black communities engage in to be and stay well. This theme also causes us to acknowledge the grim historical realities that long-standing health disparities are having a significant negative impact during this pandemic, leaving Black people particularly vulnerable. Recent data from APM Research Labs show that the death rate for Black Americans from COVID-19 is 2 times higher than white Americans and 2.1 times higher than the Asian and Latin American community. These numbers are mainly due to the social determinants of health that many Black people face, including where they live and work and whether they have access to quality health care. Today, we will focus on the body, mind, and spirit, and the importance of taking great care of ourselves for total health and optimum well-being. We also acknowledge the interconnectedness of the body, mind, and spirit. Through our presenters, we will honor our ancestors and explore steps we can take to be healthy and well. We encourage you to listen to your body, mind, and spirit as you plan ways to eat healthy, move your bodies, relax, recharge, and support your wellness journey. We have an exciting program that includes dynamic speakers, a meditation exercise that we can use to help us pause, slow down, and take a break when necessary, amazing African dancers, and student winners of our Black History Writing Contest. We hope you find this program to be engaging, provocative, educational, and entertaining. Our registration website lists resources for health and wellness programs in Pennsylvania. You will also find the order of the program and bios of the participants. Next, Damon Anderson will sing the Negro National Anthem, followed by Governor Tom Wolf's welcome address. Thank you for attending our program. We hope you enjoy it.
Heaven ring with the heart. Hi, I'm Governor Tom Wolf, and I'm proud to recognize February as Black History Month in Pennsylvania. Every year, representatives from Pennsylvania's agencies come together to celebrate Black History Month. I want to thank all of you for participating in this tribute to the rich diversity of our Commonwealth. This year's theme is health and wellness. And in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has never been a more important time to address inequity in healthcare across Pennsylvania. Inequity existed long before the pandemic, but we know that in many ways the past 2 years have made things worse. As a nation and as a Commonwealth, we must do better. Black History Month is a time of celebration and reflection, but it is also a time for action. We must do the hard work that leads to real lasting change. And as Commonwealth employees, we are in a prime position to fight for change. That means promoting equity not only in healthcare, but in our schools, in our businesses, and in all parts of our society. During Black History Month, let us all recommit ourselves to the work of building a better future. Happy Black History Month.
Our first speaker is Dr. Denise Johnson, the Physician General for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Dr. Johnson will focus on the body and the importance of taking care of ourselves and having access to quality health care.
Hello, I'm Dr. Denise Johnson, Pennsylvania's Physician General. We share a passion for addressing historic inequities that have led to significant consequences impacting the wellness of body, mind, and spirit for people of color. That's why it brings me particular joy to partner with you during this multi-agency Black History program. My journey in healthcare started in a small town. Service has always been the driving force behind all of my professional decisions. There is no better way to serve than correcting the health disparities that are limiting the potential of so many talented people. That's why I accepted the opportunity to serve as your Physician General. At the Pennsylvania Department of Health, we are placing a high priority on health equity. We recognize the importance of achieving health equity through cultural competence, racial equity, and eliminating barriers that vulnerable populations face in healthcare systems. Our healthcare systems must be accessible to all and treat everyone with the same compassionate care. We have also learned that there are significant benefits of addressing health concerns and reducing disparities, such as reductions in disease transmission and progression, increased mental and physical well-being, reduce healthcare costs, and increase longevity. When it comes to inequities in healthcare, we must consider cultural competence to address the disparities that people of racially and culturally diverse backgrounds often experience. It can ensure all patients get the care they need to live healthier lives. When healthcare providers fail to recognize the differences between them and their patients, they may inadvertently deliver lower quality care. Cultivating skills that improve cross-cultural communication can play an important role in delivering equitable care. Developing a diverse workforce is a cornerstone of this need. Patients benefit from providers who are from their communities, who look like them, speak the same language, and have shared experiences. Time and again, statistics reveal racial inequities in healthcare, reflecting a legacy of racial discrimination in our healthcare system that plague people of color from the womb to the tomb. The unfair imbalance in access to healthcare among the U.S. Black and other non-white populations can affect issues that range from infant mortality to premature death. Consider the sobering implications of these national statistics. The average infant mortality rate, 2016 to 2018, was 5.1 for white people and 10.5 for Black people. 2017 to 2018, rate of diabetes in American Indian or Alaskan Native people was 14.7% versus 7.5% for white people. The lifetime risk of PTSD was highest in Black people at 8.7% and lowest in Asian people at 4%. The average life expectancy in 2018 was 78.6 for white people versus 74.6 for Black people. But race is not the only factor when it comes to healthcare inequities. Vulnerable populations in the U.S. often face multiple barriers to accessing healthcare. Such barriers range from discrimination to the lack of affordable living options that are close to treatment centers, as is the case for many rural Americans. Achieving health equity in healthcare often means eliminating or reducing the barriers to social and economic resources that affect an individual's health. Coming back to the theme of today's event, let's discuss wellness, how to keep the body well by focusing on the physical, mental, and spiritual wellness, and the importance of good nutrition. Your wellness and well-being are important for public health. Disease prevention and health promotion result in healthy behaviors, decreased risk of disease, illness, injury, better immune functioning, faster recoveries, and increased longevity. Individual good health results in improvements in community functioning. Good nutrition is one factor in wellness. People with healthy eating patterns live longer and are at lower risk for serious health problems, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. For people with chronic diseases, healthy eating can manage these conditions and prevent complications. Vitamins and minerals are critical for several important bodily functions. Most vitamins and minerals are not produced in the body. Instead, they are consumed through food or supplements. But nutrition is more than vitamins and minerals. It also includes fiber and healthy fats. Now is a perfect time to learn simple ways to help your whole family eat healthier. Good sources of healthy fats include olive oil, nuts, seeds, certain types of fish, and avocados. Fiber in your diet helps keep you regular, makes you feel fuller longer, helps control blood sugar, and lowers cholesterol levels. Fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and legumes like beans and peas are good sources of fiber. Good nutrition is about balance, which means not getting too much of certain ingredients. Physical activity is another factor in wellness. To maintain a good weight and good cardiovascular health, the American Heart Association recommends that adults exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That recommendation is for all of us, including those who are younger, older, pregnant, or with medical conditions. However, in 2019, only half of adults in Pennsylvania met that recommendation. Conversely, children and adolescents should get 60 minutes or more of physical activity each day. Physical activity is done in many ways. It could be done as part of playing, working, active transportation, house chores, and recreational activities. Start out slowly and pick an activity that you like, one that fits your lifestyle. Your activity level is an important topic to discuss with your doctor as part of your ongoing preventative health care. Talk with your doctor about your current physical activity level, whether there are specific exercises or activities that you should avoid. Health is the foundation of a well-functioning community and society. All individuals must have the opportunity and knowledge to achieve their full health potential. We cannot be naive and proclaim that we all have the same ability to reach these health goals. We must create systems that facilitate this achievement. We must keep the principles of equity in mind and realize that there is no single solution for our diverse populations. The Department of Health will continue to educate our staff so that we're able to make the systemic changes necessary to provide empathic, culturally competent, and equitable interactions and services that help all Pennsylvanians to be healthy in mind, body and spirit. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Mr. Golden is the CEO and founder of D. Golden Associates and executive director of the South Central Pennsylvania Sickle Cell Council. He will discuss the impact of Black American migration on Black health and wellness.
Hello, this is Dwayne Golden, the Executive Director for the South Central PA Sickle Cell Council. I'm excited to share with you today some findings after a look back on some of the things that impacted Black health and wellness in Pennsylvania. So as we go ahead and take a look, I just wanted to share that my findings have got me very excited about the potential of the next 50 to 100 years based on what we've seen happen over the previous 140 years or so. And it's not shocking, but it's very exciting to know from whence we all come. The American steel industry was one of the most powerful, dynamic things to happen here in the North in general, because there was so much work needed to accommodate locomotives going cross country, building bridges. There's so many things that still preparing for war and things like that. So the American steel industry was one of those catalysts that not just affected the African American population, but many others who migrated to the North into the United States for that. The Jim Crow South was another. Between 1870 and 1910, you will note that it was an average of 100 lynchings per year noted, they're on record, that really made it difficult to assimilate into society after slavery for African American families, because you just didn't know what type of things would impact you or could cost you your life or cost you your well-being or your loved one. So these things made the North very attractive, whether it was Pennsylvania, Ohio, many of the states where they were a lot more friendly. They were friendly states for African Americans or previous slaves. And so these are some of the things that really played a huge role in what made the steel industry and other things so very attractive in the North. The German communities, Croatian communities, English, Irish, Polish, by the droves migrated to the United States, and when they were in the United States already, migrated from other areas to the steel towns in the Northeast, which included Ohio and other states, but Pennsylvania we're speaking about. So no wonder some of you wonder, well, what's with the shoe fly pie, Pennsylvania Dutch, and other things that related? Well, we have a huge German population in the communities. They were here and could migrate a lot more freely than African Americans could, and they could easily get right into a town and establish their communities. Well, what's interesting about this is, yes, they were affected, they were impacted and migrated to these communities where they would later work with African Americans in these very communities. So what towns, where are these mill towns? Well, there are many others that I'm not mentioning here, but Johnstown is one of them. Another, Stilton, Pennsylvania, where they have a high Croatian population during this time, and some others, and then African American communities have come right into that community. The Duquesne area, Pittsburgh, and Bethlehem, and many others. The connection is, in these unhealthy communities, because of all this migration, not just African American, but a lot of the Poles and the Germans and others, they would have homes that were built to handle 1/3 or 1/4 of the population that was actually living there. These homes would easily have 18 to 20 plus people in them, laying on the floors, doing all kinds of things, which opened the door for other things that impacted health and wellness as we know it. The demand of healthcare on these communities were that now there needed to be on the rise physicians. There were more classes and subjects being taught along the lines of healthcare. The colleges were opening the door for having more physicians come in and learn and study in these universities. There were also the door opening for African Americans, Polish, German, all these other immigrants to be able to study and learn in the United States. And a lot of it looks like it was just because they were friendly, but a lot of it was because they needed more. The demand was greater than we had actually physicians and other public servants for. The physicians began to be educated in our communities. We have some homegrown ones, which is beautiful. Some who migrated to the to Pennsylvania to help out in the cause. And this is why it's beautiful for me. I have to share this with you. I'm thinking about Dr. Crampton, who was born in 1879 in Harrisburg, an African American. Now, his parents migrated to the area, but he was born there. And what's beautiful about this is he served as a physician in the 8th Ward for more than 40 years as an athletic physician. And in the same token, he served the communities. Those days they did house calls. But what's really remarkable is he also served as a politician. He was a great part of the start in the establishment of the YMCA on Forster Street in Harrisburg. Now, I don't want to spend all my time there. I want you to know that Dr. Crampton represents a lot of others who have migrated and was a part of the difference of transforming health and wellness as we know it in those days, over 140 plus years ago to now. And we can see the progress as we think of other physicians who maybe not even been born here, but came and participated. In 1975, Dr. Donald Spigner, he wasn't born in Harrisburg. He migrated from the Minneapolis community as a physician and took the job as a medical director. And later, the Hamilton Health Center, who has served our community since I was a child. My parents used to take us there. It's remarkable but exciting. What I do think that we can't overlook is there have been a host of physicians, radio hosts, politicians, teachers, educators, founders, business leaders who have migrated to Pennsylvania and have made a great difference in the lives and the wellness of African Americans around the state. And today, there are still many migrating to Pennsylvania, but when they get there, there's already a host of resources available to assist them. So the influences of migration, they opened up the Children's Hospital that exists right there in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. One of the reasons my parents migrated in 1961 to Pennsylvania was because they were told about the Children's Hospital where my older brother could be seen for polio. Although there has been a cure for polio for many years, in Tampa, Florida, you could not be seen in a white hospital. You could only be seen in the resident hospitals where the Negro, they call it the Negro clinics, would practice. And unfortunately, they didn't have the resources to uncover and address such things. So Children's Hospital, which was, I think, broke ground in 1929, now was booming by the 1960s, and they were happy to address something they've seen so many times before. This is just one example. I can also think about organizations and clinics around the state that have been all the world of difference. This is Dwayne Golden. What do you know of? What have you been exposed to that is a result of the migration that created the need and demand for greater health care for African Americans in Pennsylvania? Take care.
Next, Lark Daniel, a Dominican African dance community, will perform Sente, a traditional West African dance.
Our next segment will focus on the mind and spirit. Kirsten Keys will explain the benefits of meditation. Kirsten is a public relations coordinator for the Harrisburg City School District and is also a licensed minister with oversight of several ministries at her church, including health and wellness and women's ministry.
Hello, I'm Kirsten Keys, and it is a privilege and an honor to participate in the 2022 Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Interagency Black History Month program with a focus on Black health and wellness. Dating back to ancient times, meditation has been used for increasing calmness and physical relaxation, improving psychological balance, coping with illness, and enhancing one's overall health and well-being. There are many forms of meditation, but most include 4 common elements: a quiet location with as few distractions as possible, a specific and comfortable posture, such as sitting, lying down, or walking, a focus on attention, specifically chosen words or a set of words or an object, and an open attitude, meaning letting distractions come in and go without judgment. As we focus on Black health and wellness, let's take a brief moment to highlight 7 types of meditation. The first is mindfulness. This is the process of being fully present with your thoughts. Being mindful means that we are aware of where we are and what we are doing, and not being overly reactive to what is going on around us. The key to practicing mindfulness meditation is to observe our thoughts and emotions and to let thoughts pass without judgment or distraction. It's important to remember that mindfulness and meditation are not one and the same. However, meditation can support the art of being mindful. Transcendental meditation is a simple technique in which a personally assigned mantra, such as a word, a sound, or a small phrase, is repeated in a specific way and with a specific rhythm. Chakra meditation. This is a really interesting one. Chakra refers to the 7 centers of energy and spiritual power within the body. Chakra meditation consists of colors, visualization, and relaxation techniques that focus on bringing energy, harmonious balance, and well-being to those 7 centers of chakra. Next up is loving kindness meditation, also known as metta, M-E-T-T-A meditation, which is the practice of directing one's thoughts and well wishes towards others. Guided meditation, which is also known as guided imagery, focuses on visualization, incorporates mental pictures and or images that one finds relaxing and or pleasant. Guided meditation is led typically by a guide and or a teacher and often incorporates sound, smell, and textures, which invoke a sense of calm and relaxation. Let's bring our focus to yoga meditation. This form of meditation incorporates postures in conjunction with controlled breathing exercises that help to promote flexibility and calm one's mind.
I've been practicing meditation for over a year now as a part of my yoga and self-love journey. Meditation reduces stress, encourages happiness, and increases self-love. This is how I meditate. Join me by finding a quiet, comfortable space where you can be alone for a while. If you don't have one, create one. Begin by sitting in a comfortable position with the legs crossed or wherever feels best. Rolling the shoulders back, keeping the spine nice and strong with the chin parallel to the floor and placing the palms on the back of the knees in a mudra, such as this one for knowledge, peace, and wisdom. You can place the palms up to receive or lay them down to feel more grounded. Now take a deep breath. Close your eyes and open your mind, focusing only on the sound and feel of your breath. Meditation is not to turn your mind off, it is to explore it, becoming self-aware. You'll find yourself submerged by thoughts searching to find the right answer, but there is no such thing. Be gentle with yourself as you try to focus solely on your breath, as many thoughts, memories, and ideas come flashing in and out of your head. Acknowledge these thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Allow them to pass as you continue focusing on your breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Use this time to become more self-aware, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Notice the way your breath tends to tickle the very top of your lips as you inhale in and exhale out. What was your first thought this morning? And what was the first verbal word you said out loud today? Was it positive or was it negative? Ask yourself, how do you feel in this present moment? Are you happy, anxious, content, proud, or disappointed in yourself? And for what reasons? This is called self-reflection. Be mindful to the answers to all of these questions, yet do not dwell on them. They are just there to keep you self-aware. Once aware, continue to breathe in and breathe out with your eyes closed and mind open. Acknowledge your fears, take a deep breath and breathe them away, because you're stronger than you think. But most importantly, you are stronger than you were yesterday.
The seventh form of meditation that we'll highlight today is spiritual meditation. This form of meditation is deeply personal and deeply spiritual, both at the same time. Spiritual meditation has existed since the beginning of time and is the sole source of connection and connectedness to the one that is greater than ourselves. While spiritual meditation is used around the world in diverse religions and cultures, for many African Americans, this form of meditation has kept our ancestors, our grandparents, our parents, and even us today focused, centered, and spiritually well. Historically, and amid horrific pain and tremendous trauma, Black people have incorporated prayer, music, and song into the spiritual meditation process. From a biblical meditation perspective, the psalmist said, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer." The psalmist here is indicating the significance of meditation and words. The fact that our words matter. What we allow to enter our minds as a focal point of our thoughts and attention, whether good or bad, it matters. As a discipline and practice of spiritual meditation, there is something profound that happens when we are focused, centered, and spiritually well. While I have shared 7 forms of meditation, it's important to note that all forms of meditation require a personal discipline, commitment, and dedication of time. For more information about meditation services and options in your local community, contact your healthcare provider, your local health and fitness center, or conduct an online search for reputable meditation providers in your community. I'm Kirsten Keys, and in celebration of Black History Month and Black Health and Wellness 365, let's stay focused, centered, and well.
Next, the Reverend Brenda Alton will focus on the importance of the spirit and its connection to our bodies and minds. Reverend Alton is a manager of spiritual care services for UPMC Central PA region and an ordained minister, having served 15 years as a senior pastor. Reverend Alton rounds out our list of speakers.
Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. Brenda Alton. I serve as a community clergy and as the manager of UPMC Central PA Region Spiritual Care Services. I have the distinct pleasure of speaking to you today. However, I would like to ask you a question. Are you spiritually well? Because this is Black History Month, it would be remiss of me not to mention that Blacks and spirituality and religion are rooted to people having a connection to their Creator. And for Blacks, a connection to their ancestors and connected to their tenacity for freedom. You could say that Blacks dug deep within themselves for inner strength, peace, balance, and comfort. For the sake of clarity, let's make a distinction between religion and spirituality. Some believe that religion speaks to the externals of our belief system. You may hear people say that they are very religious, which means they may pray, attend community worship, and observe traditions, rites, and rituals. They read sacred texts and have a higher power they follow. But truth be told, not everyone is religious. Spirituality, on the other hand, refers to the inner belief system. It is an inner connection to the spirit, a personal experience with the God of one's understanding. Many believe that everyone is a spiritual being. So go back to my question. Are you spiritually well? Some might ask, why do we need to be spiritually well? The simple answer is because life happens. You can look and see how life happens often and continuously, it seems. There are calendar dates to fulfill, to-do lists to complete, attempting to multitask while walking, or should I say flying, figuring out your finances and taking care of family. Life has been happening quite a bit with the pandemic and sickness, but our goal is to find balance. Now, don't look at me like that. There is a balance to achieve. It's giving yourself time to realign with your purpose and what gives your life meaning. It is finding the right balance to everything you do. To do so, we need to migrate to spiritual wellness. I suggest you first identify where you are experiencing any spiritual pain. That pain could resemble emotional withdrawal. It could be a withdrawal from life itself and celebrations becoming meaningless. Isolation occurs and even anger, sadness, or being overwhelmed with grief or death, just to name a few. To move towards spiritual wellness is to find connectedness and meaning again. It is finding spiritual balance. How do you deal with opposition outside of yourself and within? It is a type of personal empowerment received from something other than yourself. And when you run out of resources, you know exactly where to go to get what brings your wholeness and not harm to your body, mind, and spirit. Spiritual wellness is using self-care. Self-care is never a selfish act. I want you to take 10 minutes to stop and breathe. Self-care and self-wellness, this spiritual wellness, is an act of love. Enjoy yourself. Do something every day that makes you laugh, for laughter is good for the soul. Lastly, speak up. Nobody can read your mind. Say what you need and be the friend to self that you deserve. Thank you for your time, and I encourage you to live spiritually well.
We will now have a second performance by the Dominican African dance community. They will also dance Soko, another traditional West African dance. Next, the first place winner of our poetry contest, Nicolette Itarian Kimber, will recite her poem titled The Legacies Left Unknown. She is a senior at Hatboro Horsham High School.
Give me my credit, I deserve it now. Where would we be if we never found Alice Ball's notes on leprosy, stolen while she lay in a corpse? As Black people in the medical field, it seems as if we are forced to fall back and not take what is ours. Little do they know about the native from Boston who put in hours. My name is Mary A. Mahoney, not the 100th nor the 10th. I am the first African-American woman to complete nursing training. No, I didn't cheat. No, I didn't cut corners. So, before you have anything to say, was your name engraved in the Nursing Hall of Fame? Born into slavery, oh, what a despicable generational curse. I am proud to declare that I am the first African-American to hold a medical degree. James McCune Smith, they call me. Consent. Permission for something to happen or agreement to do something. They sit around lying and bluffing when they know they were wrong for what they did. But can I be infuriated when I'm the reason for your polio vaccine and how you're able to map out your genes? All because the monster was stronger than me. Cancer. My immortalized cells stripped from my body. For 70 years, I've been saving everyone and everybody. Who am I, you ask? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Henrietta Lacks.
Last, but certainly not least, the first place winner of our essay contest, Nikolai Brumet, will recite his essay titled Racism in the Medical Community, a Dissection. He is a freshman at Reach Cyber Charter School.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikolai Brumet. I am in the 9th grade and attend Reach Cyber Charter School. Today, I am here to present my short essay titled Racism in the Medical Community, a Dissection, an essay concerning racial disparity in medicine, specifically in the area of pain management. Without any further ado, here it is. There is a dangerous issue running wild and unchecked in the medical community. You may be thinking that it's a rare virus or disease or some completely foreign malady. In other contexts, you may well be correct. But the problem is something so insidious that many practitioners don't realize it's there at all because of how deeply ingrained it is into society at large. This growing problem is systemic racial bias, a spreading pandemic in the medical community. However, in this essay, I will be covering 2 key points: implicit bias in medicine and how alarming amounts of practitioners repeatedly fail racial minorities in areas such as pain management. Let us be clear. Racism is not some ancient thing that died out in the 19th century. It is still insidious and deadly today. It just presents itself in different ways. For example, as found in a study of over 400 medical students and 100 lay people, many students still believe that there are inherent biological differences between Black and white people, mainly regarding those of the nervous system. This leads to a stark juxtaposition in how practitioners regard Black patients in comparison to white patients with the same issue. This idea is not only completely false, but also incredibly dangerous. Not only does it set the precedent that minorities are inherently other, which is false, it also makes it egregiously difficult for them to get quality healthcare easily, safely, and reliably. This is not something that will change unless we work towards a brighter future. We, as the future generation, must not only acknowledge the issues within our society and communities, but actively strive to fix them, to provide something better. Look towards the future and see that it is bright, because we will make it that way. Thank you. It has been an honor presenting.
Good afternoon. My name is Wesley Alexander. On behalf of the Pennsylvania Multi-Agency Committee for the 2022 Black History Program, Rhonda Daviston and I would like to express our thanks for you watching our virtual program. I'd like to first acknowledge our poetry winner, 12th grader, Nicolette Itarian Kimber. Our essay winner, 9th grader, Nikolai Brumet. Congratulations to the 2 of you. A job well done. It is my pleasure to thank Governor Tom Wolf for his remarks and continued support. Special thanks to our panel guests and participants, Dwayne Golden, Reverend Dr. Brenda Alton, Dr. Denise Johnson, Ms. Kirsten N. Keys, Damon Anderson for singing the Negro National Anthem, entertainment by Lark Daniel, founder of the Miniman African Dance Community, and support of our media outlets. Special thanks and appreciation for our multi-agency committee members for taking time out of their busy schedules to volunteer their services to this special event. Their names and agency they represent are mentioned in the program booklet. Finally, We ask if you would take a few minutes by completing a brief survey that you will receive via email. We look forward to your responses. Thank you again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.